Hey everyone, my name is Sohil Stangs. I'm a candidate for freshman representative at RHS, and you're watching my show called Sohil and Stangs. In today's episode, we sit down with Arpit Ranasaria. He is currently the president of the Math and Science Olympiad Club here at RHS. With this interview, we will be talking about club formation and participation, how you can join and how you can get interested in these clubs at RHS. When Arpit shares some of his concerns, later in the video, I will be sharing how I will be solving these problems so that as a freshman rep, if I'm elected, I will make sure these problems are fixed. Make sure to comment down below and share some of your ideas for these problems that Arpit noticed. Alright, Arpit, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So could you possibly tell us a little bit about yourself and your experiences at RHS?
So I'm a huge math and science nerd, and so when I came to the school, I wanted to find clubs and experiences that would allow me to continue my math competitions and science competitions and sort of grow in those fields, right? And so I came to the school, and my experience here has been mostly great in that aspect. There's so many different clubs here, so many variety that can meet my needs. There's math club, there's science Olympiad, there's science bowl, there's physics club. And so through all these clubs, I'm able to enjoy my experience here. However, there are a few things that I wish could be better.
Alright, so as your president of the Math and Science Olympiad Club, how and when did you gain interest in these clubs?
So like I mentioned earlier, I had a huge interest in math and science, right? So I wanted clubs that would fit those needs. And so one of the best things to give me exposure to these clubs and allow me to join was the club jamboree, which occurs at the start of the year. And then different clubs advertise, right? And so when you see what club you're interested in, you can sign up for their mailing list and then you get all information about future meetings. And so that's how I got into the clubs that I'm into. And then from there, I got super invested, and now I'm the president of the club.
Alright, so you mentioned that you gained interest in these clubs through Club Jamboree, right? So as the president of these clubs, how do you advertise to the students in RHS?
So club advertising is super important, right? So besides Club Jamboree, there are other ways that we focus on advertising to students. Generally, clubs such as my club make posters that are up in the school halls that advertise the clubs, and also doing well in competitions is obviously a great advertiser. Additionally, members of the club also tell their friends to join, and so through that we kind of get to spread the word and entice people to join the clubs.
So if you were advertising about your club, what assistance would you like to see RHS students have when they're spreading the word?
So one of the many problems clubs have is just simply getting the word out to the audience that would actually be interested. For example, I know a ton of kids who are super interested in science, but they haven't even heard of a club like Science Olympiad, which they might be super interested in. And so that's definitely one thing that perhaps getting the word out, maybe through announcements or PAs or something. And additionally, another thing is like, in terms of announcements, a lot of sports are announced through the announcements and other stuff, but clubs generally don't get that spotlight. And so for clubs, it's kind of hard to advertise correctly, even if like some members do good in competitions, right? Like if the sports team wins, everyone knows about it, right? Whereas some people in the school don't even hear about a win by a science club or a debate club or DECA, right? And so I guess being able to get that word out would be super helpful for clubs and participation.
Now let's go back to what Arpit said earlier in the episode. He said that a lot of clubs like Science Club, Math Club, Physics Club, all these clubs that have passions that not a lot of people enjoy, these clubs were not getting the spotlight. If you elect me as RHS freshman representative, I'll make sure that your voice matters and that your student clubs are the ones that are getting the spotlight. Whether it be announcements on awards, if you win a competition for your club and your club is not getting the spotlight, I'll make sure that on the RHS announcements, your spotlight is shining. Alright, that is a wrap for our episode of Sohil and Stangs. I will see you all tomorrow with our next episode with our next guest. Thank you all for watching, and remember that if you vote for Sohil Stangs as your next freshman representative, I will make sure that your future here at RHS is great.